Welcome to Empowerment Radio. My name is Dr. Friedemann, and I'm so glad that you decided to join me. Empowerment Radio is about giving you the insights, tools, and solutions to address some of the most challenging aspects of our daily lives. So sit back, relax, and empower yourself. Welcome to Empowerment Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Friedemann. Well, in the intro, it just said some of the most challenging aspects of our life, right? So I think we are going probably through one of the most challenging times in our life. And I have to say, it was a strike of genius, not to toot my own horn, to have this show already planned ahead, thinking maybe we need a little bit of calm right now during a time of uncertainty. And I think we all do need this, right? There is for sure this nail biter of an election going on, and some of us haven't really slept very much in the last 48 hours. Then there is COVID, the epidemic, just getting new steam and rising to maybe heights we have never seen before. There are other things, the climate crisis, the Paris agreement was just canceled by the US nicely. Then there is, unfortunately, also the whole economy coming to more of or less a halt. There is a lot that right now feels overwhelming and that feels like full of uncertainty and maybe even chaos. So today, I'm going to talk about how to just get out of this sense of inner chaos and this stress and this anxiety that comes with it and find some calm, no matter what the circumstances are. In the end, it's actually in our hands to see the world the way we choose to, and not the way it's portrayed by, let's say, the news or by the politicians. So let's just focus on ourselves for a moment. I hope you have turned off CNN, Fox, or anything that may have been blurring all day long. Just turn it off for a moment. Turn the radio off. Not this radio, obviously. And let's take a collective sigh of relief. So take a deep breath in, and maybe you want to even close your eyes. That would be great. And then on the exhale, you just do, really just letting the air out. Do this 3 times. Inhaling. And with a sigh of relief, exhaling. And one more time, inhaling. Exhaling. Perfect. And then what I like to do is just with your eyes closed, look up to the heavens, to the top of your head, to the ceiling, whatever there is, and simply tell yourself, either out loud or silently, I trust in life. It'll be okay. And then look down to your feet and say, I choose to be calm in the present moment. And then turn your eyes, with your eyes closed, to the left and tell yourself, I trust that I can handle whatever happens next. And then look to the right and tell yourself, I choose to face the future with love, kindness, and optimism. And then you can look straight ahead again and open your eyes. Now, by the way, just really having your eyes closed and looking in all 4 directions, and you can actually also simply roll your eyes in a big circle. That is very powerful when it comes to dispersing emotions and just getting out of an emotional tailspin that you may have been experiencing. Especially when you look up, you're far away from the emotions and you don't really feel so in the midst of it. And then when you turn it, it just feels like, okay, my emotions don't have this grip on me anymore. And that, combined with affirmations that really resonate with you, that gives you a nice break. Because sometimes that's all it takes, just to have a break from the madness that's going on around and inside of us. Now, why do we have such a hard time with uncertainty, with what's going on right now? And why do we feel stressed and wired tired? Because a lot of people feel that they cannot really relax. You know, they feel like, I'm so exhausted, it's so much, it's so overwhelming, but as soon as I'm in bed, my head is spinning, my mind is racing, I cannot calm down. So why is that we do that? And why do we right away, as kind of a mental emotional pacifier, go to the news, turn it on, let it run all day long, trying to get some kind of a sense of comfort or reassurance from that? Or we go to social media and look for those that are, you know, like-minded and may actually share that what we believe in. And you know how we do look for outside sources to make us feel better. And what we do, unfortunately, is the obvious, which is we are kind of taking our focus even more away from us. And it's the opposite of what we should be doing. We should actually look inside. We should connect to ourselves, because the only place where you're going to find peace and calmness is inside of you. Nothing outside of you can ultimately give you that reassurance that you can find inside of yourself. And that's what we want to do today. So at the end of our program today, there will be a guided process that you can go through. And it's a process that really helps to feel much more grounded and centered, while also have your mind be not so rigid and tense and stiff, but more flexible. And at the same time, you have your heart open. Because as we know, when we feel we are dealing with uncertainty and when things seem to be just overwhelming and stressful, our heart seems to clamp up. We just feel like, ugh, something is, you know, too much, or something feels just like we have to protect ourselves. And unfortunately, when our heart is closed, we don't really have access to very powerful resources inside, such as love and compassion and understanding, things we may need for ourselves, but also for others. So why is it that we are dealing with uncertainty so poorly? Well, I think it has to do with three expectations, unrealistic expectations we have. And unfortunately, we haven't really been able to let go of those. So maybe today this could be the first step. And that first unrealistic expectation is that we think we have to be in control of the circumstances we're in. You know, we're living in a world where you can turn on the light even with your voice, or clap, clap, or you know, just feel like everything is ultimately laid out. Everything is predictable. And we don't have any kind of patience or flexibility when things are not going our way. We freak out when the weather is not ideal for a weekend getaway. We feel frustrated when we have to stay in a traffic jam. We feel, you know, really irritated when, you know, we are not necessarily seeing the stock market go our way. So there are things we feel like we should be in control, but we can't. And the truth is, ultimately, we cannot be in control of all the circumstances around us. And that's one expectation that gets us in trouble with uncertainty. Because right now, to be honest, we voted, but we're not in control. We have no idea what's going to happen. All we can do is just to lean back and learn to be patient. The second thing that we have as an unrealistic expectation is the expectation that we should be in control of the people around us. And you know how that is. Right now, I heard a lot of people just shaking their heads and saying, why are these people voting for the other candidate? I don't understand them. Are they stupid? So that kind of feeling of everyone should think like we do and everyone should behave like we do, that can also lead to great frustration and ultimately anxiety, because we don't trust others anymore. And the third reason, or the third expectation, is the expectation that we should be able to control ourselves. So how many of you are right now a little bit mad at yourself that you're anxious and feel overwhelmed? Maybe you feel like, you know, that there is something wrong with you. Everyone else seems to have it together, so why are you freaking out? Why can't you sleep? Why is your mind just running around in circles? And that is, again, an unrealistic expectation, because we cannot always control our mind. We can guide our mind, we can train our mind, we can help our mind, but we cannot always be in control of it. Just like we cannot always be in control of how fast we are learning something or how well we are dealing with a new circumstance. All we can do is just to try to do our best. Now, the first really important skill to have to be calm is something that, personally, I had to practice a lot, because I was definitely not a master in it. And I still am not, but I'm doing my best to eventually get there, maybe when I'm 85, which is patience. Just really learning how to be patient. Right now, with this every vote counts, and some of these states are really dragging their feet and are really seeming to take it very serious. So that brings up an impatience naturally, but it does really also teach us the patience that is asked of us to have right now. And I think in general, learning how to be more patient is not only a virtue, it is actually a power. So when we come back, we talk about more on how can you become more patient, especially during a time of uncertainty. So don't go anywhere. Hi, Dr. Friedemann here. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more about fear and anxiety, here you'll find guided meditations, webinars, and interviews with some of the most renowned experts in the field of empowerment. Delve into the over 230 videos and more to come every week.